Hey, Ash. What should we make?
Well, Tim, you're a jerk if you don't make me some chicken.
Are you trying to say you want jerk chicken?
Yes, please.
All right, let's make some jerk chicken. Today, we're making jerk chicken. It's a classic Caribbean, I believe, Jamaican recipe. It's a savory, just a tiny bit sweet, super spicy grilled chicken. It's delicious. If you're not into spice, you're gonna wanna take this down a few notches, but it's so good. It's classic, it's iconic. So, hey, without further ado, let's go make some jerk chicken. So first we make our marinade. So we're gonna throw all of these ingredients into a blender, and it is quite a long list of ingredients, but nonetheless, all necessary for all of the complexity and flavor that we're gonna get from this. So first ingredient, and this is really what puts the jerk in jerk chicken, would be a Scotch bonnet pepper. Now, I could not find Scotch bonnet peppers anywhere around here where I live, so I went with habaneros. Now, habaneros and Scotch bonnets are very similar in flavor. They're also very similar in their heat range, which is, depending on your spice range, pretty freaking hot. The Scotch bonnet tends to be a little bit fruitier, whereas this habanero tends to be a little bit smokier. And even though they have the same range, the Scotch bonnet tends to be maybe just a little bit hotter. So typically we'd use 4 to 6 Scotch bonnets. I'm using 8 habaneros. So from here, we throw these into a blender bottle, or food processor, followed by 1 small red onion or a half of a large red onion, chopped up, rough chop, 4 to 6 garlic cloves, peeled, 4 stalks of scallions or green onions, chop off the tops and the tails, and we'll just give these a little 1/4 cup soy sauce, 1/4 cup apple cider vinegar. You could probably use white vinegar, 2 tablespoons olive oil, juice from a large orange, juice from a lime, 1 tablespoon grated ginger, 2 tablespoons brown sugar, 1 teaspoon nutmeg, 1 teaspoon allspice, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 1 teaspoon 5-spice, 1 teaspoon dried thyme. If you had fresh thyme, that would probably be better. And then salt and pepper to taste. I'm using about a teaspoon of salt because the soy sauce and stuff already has a lot of salt in it, and about a tablespoon of pepper. Now we blend this until smooth. Traditionally for jerk chicken, we would use whole chicken legs, so the drum and the thigh, skin on, bone in, or even a whole chicken quartered, or even a whole chicken. But what I have is boneless, skinless chicken thighs, so that's what we're gonna use. So we're gonna put these all into a bag, then we're gonna take our jerk marinade, and we are just going to pour it in here. Make sure everything's covered. Once everything's covered, get rid of the air, and there we have our jerk chicken. We're gonna let this marinate for at least a couple hours. More than that would be better. Overnight would be best. Now we have a little bit of time to make something to go with our chicken. So we're gonna make some Caribbean beans and rice. First thing we're gonna do, in a super hot pan, a little bit of high heat oil, neutral oil. I'm using avocado. You could use canola, whatever. Then we throw in half of an onion, diced, 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, minced or grated, and 1 of our peppers. So if you can get the Scotch bonnets, go for it. Or if you got to settle for habaneros, then use what you can get, folks, or use what you have. And 1 sprig of fresh thyme, or if you don't have that, a teaspoon of dried thyme. And we stir that up, cook that for about a minute. Then we add 2 cups of rice, dried rice, not cooked, and about 15 ounces of kidney beans. But hey, if you got a different kind of bean, use what you got. And that's 1 can, folks. This is what we're dealing with here. We stir that in and let this cook for about 2 minutes. And then we add 1 cup of coconut milk, 1 bay leaf, teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder, 2 teaspoons of Creole seasoning, and 2 1/4 cups chicken broth. We stir that in. Now, keeping our heat medium-high to high, we're gonna bring this to a boil. And once we reach a good boil, we're gonna go ahead and turn the heat all the way down, put a lid on this. Yeah, I know this lid doesn't actually go to this pan, but I don't have a lid for this pan, so that's what we're using. You know what? Be creative, folks. We're gonna let this simmer for about 20 minutes, but make sure and check on it pretty often, stir it around as needed. Once your 20 minutes is up, pull out this bay leaf, if you can find it. Discard that. Give this a stir. Well, kill the heat first. Then give it a nice stir, and then we can let it cool. With our grill on medium high to high, we go ahead and throw our guys on the grill. I went ahead and removed them from the marinade, discarded the excess marinade, didn't dry them off completely, so we still got some of that marinade on there. And just like anything we grill on a hot grill, I'm gonna kind of move it around a little bit at first to make sure it doesn't stick. Whether that's just giving it a quarter turn or just sort of sliding it around, it's up to you. We're just gonna cook this on, like I said, medium high to high. We're gonna cook this until our chicken gets up to, because we're using thighs, 175. If you're using breasts, I would do like 160. There's no basting or anything on this one. We're just gonna go ahead and cook them, and that's what we're gonna do. Just like most things, I like to flip often. I think it leads to more even cooking. I think flipping the whole one flip is kind of bullshit, but hey, if that's your deal, go for it. Cook it all the way through with a nice crispy sear on the outside. Once your guys have reached 175 for thighs, if you're using breasts or anything just white meat, you'd want to go like 160. Then we go ahead and pull them off and kill the heat. And that's what we got. And there we have our jerk chicken and our Caribbean beans and rice. Time for a bite. Cheers. The chicken is tender, it's juicy, it's absolutely packed with flavor with that nice kind of crust from the grill. Give it a little bit of a textural, some crispiness on the outside. It's savory, it's a little bit sweet, it's got a lot of spice, which I love. Just all around freaking delicious jerk chicken. How about that rice? Cheers. It's rice and beans, but it's also packed with so much more flavor. And that coconut milk gives it like a kind of a rich creaminess that's really delicious. Just like a touch of spice, so good. Let's see what Nash thinks. Hey little dude, got some jerk chicken for you. Here you go. What do you think, bud? Pretty good, huh?
That's jerkin' delicious.
You got anything you want to say to your fans?
As distance tests a horse's strength, time reveals a person's character.
All right. Nash approves. I approve. Great dish to work into your grill rotation for the summer, as is, especially if you like spicy. And again, like I said, if you don't, just scale it down, knock it out, make the recipe yours, just like anything else. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind taking a second to like, subscribe, and share the show. If you want notifications every time we drop a new episode, go ahead and hit that notification bell. If there's anything you want me to cook, you want me and Nash to taste, drop that down in the comments or head over to timschaoskitchen.com. Send us a message there. And just remember, cook more, eat better, embrace the chaos. That's it for now, folks. Till next time, peace.